So we need to factor those denominators. And so I'll do that. And that's going to be 2 over, what is this, y minus 2, y minus 1. Did you get that? Because those multiply to be 2, right? Negative 2 and negative 1 multiply to be positive 2. And they add to be negative 3, don't they? Good. And then the other one's in FL. It's just y plus 1, y minus 1. Okay. Now, what are we going to do from here? What do we have to do at this point? This is the give them what they're missing thing, right? Give them what they're missing. On this problem, there's no equal sign. There's no equal sign, so there's no left-right. None of my thinking is left-right. All of my thinking is top-bottom, right? You with me on that? We're going to really get into that today in 6.6. We're going to have a bunch of equals problems, so we're going to be doing left-right all the time, but this one does not have equals, so I'm not doing left-right. I'm doing top-bottom. Top-bottom on this one, right? So I give it top and bottom what it's missing. What is it missing that its neighbors have? Y plus 1, huh? Right? And then this guy, what's he missing that his neighbors have? Y minus 2, right? Now they both have the same three things, don't they? So now I made the bottoms the same. I made the bottoms common denominator, didn't I? So as soon as you've got that going on, you don't need two fractions anymore. They're the same. Just one common denominator with all three of them. Like that? Good. All right, doesn't matter what order you have those in. Any order is fine. All right, now let's get the new tops. So these two are going to multiply, aren't they? 2 times y, 2 times 1. 2y plus 2. 7 times y, 7 times minus 2, plus 7y minus 14. There we go. And finally, finish the top. 2y and 7y, 9y, 2 minus 14 minus 12, over y plus 1, y minus 2, y minus 1. Done. B. Good? Questions I can answer on that one? You good with all that? That'll be on, our big test is when? Tuesday. Monday's the practice exam. Tuesday's the real deal. This is the big one. This is the one that separates people. You don't want to be separated down, you want to be separated up, right? So this is the separator. Exam 4 is the hardest one. It's harder than the final. The final's even easier because the final has everything, which means it's got a lot of the easier stuff as well as some of the hard, whereas the 4 is like the hardest exam. 5 is not a lot different. It's a little easier, but kind of the same. Scores will drop dramatically. And I'm not saying that to discourage you, but that, you know, if you want to keep getting the same kind of scores you've been getting, you're going to have to spend more time with this material than on the others. The average always drops by about 2 grades, usually more than 2 grades. Like if the average in our class has been 75, it'll drop to 55. That's the average, meaning half are above 55, half are below 55. I don't want that. I don't go, ha ha ha, I'm going to make a really hard test and that'll get them. No, I'm just giving you the material that's in the homework, doing the best I can to show you how to do it, and putting it fairly on the exam. I'm just telling you what happens to people because they're not practicing the stuff enough. So practice this stuff. Today is the big day. We'll see a lot of mess. Any questions on this one? Hopefully you can do these kind of fractions. Well, I'm preaching to the choir. 89% of you, or something like that, got it. So here we go. I got to get through 3 sections. This one, and then the word problems, and then the middle one for the big one's the word problems. All right. So how do we do these things? V over 9 minus 9 over V equals 0. This is different than the one we just did on the quiz because it has an equal sign. So we're talking left side, right side, equal sign. Right? We've got a left side and a right side and an equal sign. So what? What do we do different when we have an equals problem? Like this one, instead of, you look back, this quiz one, see, no equals. So on this quiz one, where I did not have an equals, all my thinking was top-bottom, because I can't do left-right. There is no equals. There's no left of the equals, right of the equals, right? There's only top-bottom. So whereas on this one, I can do left-right. Left-right. So what am I going to do? Left and right. Yeah, common denominator. Yeah, what's the GCF? What's common denominator? Just 9 and v. You need one of each, huh? So you need a 9 and you need a v. So 9v, 9v, and 9v. Everybody gets one. 9v, 9v, 9v. We good? All right, and then these, and then go ahead and cross cancel what you can, multiply what's left over. So the 9s cancel, and we get v squared, right? And the v's cancel. We get 9 times 9 is 81. Am I going too quick? We good so far? I'm just cross-canceling whatever I can and multiplying what's left over. What happens on the other side? Yeah, what's 0 times anything? That's just 0. We good so far? Now, can you remember what you do? Remember what you do when you have v squared or x squared? Got to get a 0. We got the 0. Can you factor that? How's that one factor? Yeah. V plus 9, v minus 9, like that. And then you set each one equal to 0 separately. So v plus 9 equals 0, or v minus 9 equals 0. And then you know how it works, right? Just opposite sign. Minus 9, minus 9. V is minus 9, add 9, add 9. V is plus 9. And so our answers are minus 9 and plus 9, or minus 9 and regular 9. They want a comma, no parentheses, either order. You don't need to show that plus. Is that good? Are we happy? Can I move along? You stop me if I'm... So we have 8 over 7v plus 3 over v is 1. Equals problem. Again, these are all going to be equal. So left side, right side. So give it a try. Figure out what to do there. All right, what's the common denominator? 7v, huh? 7v? So you go 7v, 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 7v. Those are all over 1, right? Because I'm not thinking, it's just the top, huh? Just top, 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 not the bottoms. Why? Because I'm not thinking top, bottom. I'm thinking left, right when I have an equal sign. So everybody getting that difference? Because both these are on the test Tuesday. Some with equal sign, some without, and you got to keep that straight. When there's equals, you're doing left, right. And when you don't have an equals, you're doing top, bottom. Okay. Then 7v cancels 7v. 8 plus v cancels v. You cross cancel whatever's left over, multiplies 3 times 7. 21. and that's just 7v. Good. No more denominators. That's the great thing about the Hitman. He takes out the fractions. So what do we have? 29 is 7v. Last step to get v alone, divide by 7. 29 sevenths. Are we good? Questions on that one? No? All is well? Okay. Okay. So on this one, we have y minus 4 over y plus 9 equals 2 over 5. Okay. Do you know when you just have two fractions, one on each side, you can cross multiply? Remember that back when we were doing slope stuff? It wasn't very long ago. It was like 2 weeks ago probably. I don't exactly remember. But it couldn't have been any more than 3 weeks ago since we started 3 weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago. So when you only have two fractions, cross multiply. In other words, diagonal, diagonal. Remember that? When you just have one fraction each side, just two fractions? Now, if I had something else, I'd write a plus 6 or something. Well, then, no. Then you can't do that. You got a third item now. You with me? If you have a third item, like the last problem. See, in the last problem, we had one thing, two thing, three things. So, yeah, we couldn't just cross multiply. But if you just have two fractions, like we do here, just one fraction each side, just cross multiply. So, what do we got? 5 times y minus 4 is 2 times y plus 9. Diagonal, diagonal. Cross multiply. Is that good? And then distribute. 5y minus 20. Boom, bada boom. 2y plus 18. Here's the wall. We good there? Is that making sense? You can just cross multiply. Those are easier if you just have, and they'll give you a lot of them. There'll be 5, 6, 7 of them in this section that are just two fractions. So you don't even really have to do a denominator thing, just cross multiply. How do we keep solving for y here? What do we do next?
The y on one side.
Yeah, you want to get it on one side only, huh? So you got the y's on opposite sides. You don't want that one to get rid of one of them. I'll get rid of the 2y. Either one, doesn't matter. I'll get rid of the 2y. Here it goes. So 3y minus 20 is 18. And add the 20 to both sides. 3y is 38. Last step. Divide by 3. Boom, there it is. 38 thirds. Got it.
So you can't take away the 18 into the 20, correct? It has to just be the 20 onto the opposite side because you're trying to condense the equation.
Well, yeah, good question. You know what it is, actually? It's like this. I don't know if everybody can hear her question. It's a good one. She's saying, hey, why didn't we get rid of the 20 instead of the 18? How do you know? Well, really, at this point, I don't know. I don't know until y is in one spot. Once y is in one spot, then I'm like, oh, yeah, get rid of the 20. So the moral of the story is, therefore, do the y's first. So when you're at this one, looking on this line, don't do anything with the 20 or the 18. Neither one. Always do the letters first. When the letters are in two places, do them first. Letters first. So I do the letters first, and then it's pretty clear. Oh, at this point, y needs to be alone. I got to get rid of the 20, not the 18. It'll be abundantly clear at that point. Once y is in only one spot, you got to get rid of whatever's next to y. Good. Other questions on this one? You good? All right. I'm going to make those x's. So x over 15 minus x over 25 is as 1. That's a 1 over 15. All right. Here's the wall. Give it a go. Common denominator, right? So what you really have to do is find the common denominator for 15 and 25. How do we find a common denominator for numbers? We do the box thing, right? Put the 15 and the 25 of those. Remember, you don't have to put both 15s. We just put one of every type, don't we? So put the 15 and the 25 in the box over there. Do the box thing. Find the common denominator, then put it top, top, top. What goes into 15 and 25? 5 does. 3 times 5 times. What goes into 3 and 5? Nothing. So multiply these guys together. 75. So 75 is the common denominator. What do you do with it? You multiply. 75, 75, 75. Over 1. These are all over 1. 75, 75, 75. Multiply through. Cross cancel and multiply whatever's left over, right? We're doing the same thing to the left and the right. 75 on all the terms on the left, all the terms on the right, keeping the balance. So cross cancel now and multiply whatever's left over. $15 goes into 75, what, 5 times? So that'd be 5x. 25 goes into 75 3 times, 3x. Good, see what I'm doing there? Just divide in your calculator. Cross cancel, multiply whatever's left over. 15 into 75 5 times. There we go. No more fractions. So much nicer, right? We always get rid of the fractions on the first step. That good? That good to there? That's the most, it's easy after that. That's the big step. Everybody okay with that big step? Then it's just 2x is 5. Last step is divide by the 2. There it is. X is 5/2. Questions on that one? No questions? All is well? Too much time. We gotta get to the word problems. Okay. Q plus 4 over 5. Q minus 3 over 3. 7/5. Okay. Try that one. So got an equal sign, left side, right side. Multiply through by the common denominator. What's common denominator? 15, right? 3 and 5 go to 15, don't they? So 15. So 15, 15, 15. All three of them, right? Cross cancel, multiply what's left over. Okay, so common denominator 15. So 15 over 1. And right here, 15 over 1. And right here, 15 over 1. Good? Okay, cross cancel now. Here we go. 5 into 15 3 times, right? And what is that leftover 3 going to do? It's going to go boom, boom, 3q plus 12. We good so far? Is that making sense? Now in the middle. So 3 goes into 15. 5 times, what's that 5 going to do? Boom, boom. 5q minus 15. Everybody good there? And now, for the right side, 5 into 15, 3 times 7, 21. The leftovers multiply 3 times 7, 21. Like that. We good? Now, no more fractions. Much nicer, right? No more fractions. Where do we go from here? We just combine like terms. So 3q, 5q, what's that? 8q. 12 minus 15 is minus 3, isn't it? Equals 21. Q is saying I want to be alone. So add 3 to both sides. So what do you got? 8, bring this down. 8q is 24. Last step. Divide by 8. Q is 3. And we got it. Good. Is that good? Questions? You okay with all that? Common denominator, top, 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 cross cancel, multiply what's left over. No questions? You guys are the class of few questions. Please ask. I'm glad to help. Other people. Okay. Make these x's. X minus 5 over x minus 6 is 1 over x minus 6. Okay. What do we do? What do we do when we've got just 2 equal fractions? Cross multiply, right? Diagonal, diagonal. So go ahead and do that. Just go diagonal, diagonal. And you'll get x minus 5 times x minus 6 equals 1 times x minus 6. All right, diagonal, diagonal. Take them from there. So go diagonal, diagonal. You could do that. That's okay too. That's a nice trick. Yeah. I'm going to pretend I didn't see that, but that'd be nice savings. Yeah, do that. X squared minus 6x minus 5x plus 30 equals x minus 6. Yeah, I'll just do it the long way because that's probably what most people would notice, is just this way. Is that good to there? So these two, here's the wall, make 11x. What are we even supposed to do now? What are we going to do? Well, almost. First we have to, what do we do? Remember the sea monster has reared its ugly head. Remember I try to say weird things to help you remember that? So, there's the sea monster. When x squared shows up on the scene, what's the first thing you do? Get a 0. Then we factor. So first we have to get 0. Remember the game plan? When x squared shows up with an equal sign, step 1 is get a 0. Step 2 is factor with the parentheses. And step 3 is each one gets their own 0. So yeah, so the first thing you got to do, when x squared, the sea monster shows up all of a sudden, you just think, all right, you got to make the other side from x squared, got to make that side 0. So how do I make x and minus 6 become 0? You do the opposite, huh? You do minus x and plus 6. Boom, boom, 0. I forced a 0 on the right side. That's what we do when the sea monster, the x squared, shows up. What do you do to one side? You have no choice but to do the same thing to the other. So minus x plus 6. To both sides. Okay. Where does that leave us? Coming up here. X squared minus 11x and minus another x. It's minus 1 there. It's minus 12x, huh? Plus 36 is 0. Now we factor. What multiplies to be 36 adds to be minus 12. Yeah, minus 6 and minus 6, huh? Two negatives multiply to be positive, and they add to be negative 12, don't they? That good so far? Right, so step 1 we got a 0. Step 2, I factored. Step 3, each one gets their own 0. So x minus 6 gets 0, and the other x minus 6 gets 0. Right? Each part gets its own 0. Good? And now, got to get x alone. Add 6 to both. X is 6. It's going to be the same thing over there. So x is just 6. Does that make sense? I don't need to do this one also. It's going to be the same answer. So x is positive 6. Positive 6. If you can read it right here. Move it over. Positive 6. There we go. So, let's go. This one is no answer. Why not? We got the 6. We did good work. Where's the mistake? There's no mistake. But there's one little goofy thing you got to do at the end. I'm not going to put this on the test, and I'm not, I'm wasting too much time as it is. Basically, you remember that that whenever you get an answer, it should check out the original. It should work. Like if I go back to, let me go back to this one, for example. This one worked good. Yeah, this is a good one. Look, here's the last one, right? We got the answer 3, didn't we? If 3 is really the answer, it should make the original equation true. Can you see the original equation? Maybe I should write it over here. You have room. So q plus 4 over 5. Well, here it is. Let me just erase this stuff, and you'll be able to see the original. Here was the original before we started. Come on. What are you doing? Why'd that go back like that? That was weird. Before I started messing with it. Here we go. There. Right. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay. Now it's all half erased. All right, so here's the original before we started messing with it, right? If I take that 3, that answer of 3, and I put it in there, 3, and there, 3, it should make it true. Does it? 3 plus 4 is 7/5 plus, put the 3 in here, 3, remember Q is 3, we're saying Q is 3 is the answer, is what we said on this problem. 3 here, 3 minus 3? 0 thirds. 0 thirds. I said last night I had 0 thirds of the pie. That's true. I had 0 thirds of pie. What does that mean? I had no pie, right? There were thirds. I had 0 of them. So 7/5 plus nothing equals 7/5. Yeah, it does. See? It works, doesn't it? That makes it true, doesn't it? Okay. So, does that work on this problem? Does the 6 answer we got really make the original one true? Put the 6 in. Does that make it true? What do you get? What is it? 6 minus 5? 1 over 6 minus 6? 0. This is 1 over 6 minus 6? 0. So 1 over 0 equals 1 over 0. Now you might say, yeah, that's true. Well, the problem is, you guys have your calculator? What is 1 divided by 0? Yeah, you can't divide by 0. That's not a number. That's craziness. How would you cut a pie into 0 pieces? If you don't cut it even once, it's one big piece. Right? You can't cut something into 0 pieces. You cannot divide by 0. It's air. I mean, how many times does 0 go into 1, for example? I mean, that's craziness, right? You cannot divide by 0. That's just an error. That's just craziness. So that's why we throw this one out and we say no solution. All right, I probably took way longer than I should have. No solution. I'm not putting this on the test. Write down in your notes, number 14 is no solution. They'll change the numbers on you, but it'll still be no solution. Click no solution and go to number 15. All right, won't be on the test. We have enough hard stuff without putting that weird kind of thing on the test. I promise it won't be there. All right, so I'm going to rewrite that actually on the next page. Remember, 3 over x minus 4. Okay, here we go. Plus 4 over x plus 4. Equals minus x over x squared minus 16. That's question number 19. Okay. There we go. Question number 19. Try that one. Got a triple. What's the first thing you need to do on that one? Look at that. What needs to be done in one of those denominators right away? Factor. You got to factor that x squared minus 16, right? That's x plus 4x minus 4, right? So do that first, and then do the LCD thing. Remember, the LCD is one of each type. One of each type. So multiply through by the common denominator, which is what? One of each type. So it's x plus 4, x minus 4. X plus 4, x minus 4. X plus 4, x minus 4. All the way across. Does that make sense? Yeah, that's right.
Well, yeah, but you know how you did it straight across, x plus 4 and x minus 4? Okay.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So now the next step, these will cancel, and so we'll end up just having 3 and x plus 4. That's what you're saying, right?
I guess. Never mind. But
And the x plus 4s will cancel, and we'll have 4 and x minus 4. And over here, these will cancel, and we'll just have minus x.
Since we're looking up with x minus 4, wouldn't we just multiply by x plus 4?
that's what I was asking.
Oh, okay, I'm with it. Okay. Yeah, no. We're not just giving them what they're missing. Yeah, don't confuse this with the last section. We're not just going, look at the neighbors, what are they missing? No, 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 we're not doing that. We're doing, because that would be, well, like how exactly would you do that? Like, let me help you with that thinking. In other words, yeah.
Oh, we're still not doing top to bottom though, it's just straight across, right?
Right.
Oh, okay, see, because I think I'm kind of.
You get, yeah, because you guys are asking the same question.
Because what I did was, I just did the top, for the first equation, I did parentheses x plus 4, and then the next one, top and bottom, x
Yeah.
minus 4.
So let me help. So because I'm sure other people, I get this question. I'm sure other people have the same question. It's a good one. Let me address it. You guys are saying, why don't we just take the first one and just look? It's got the x minus 4, so just give it the x plus 4, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, first off, do you see that's fully? Well, and then this will give him the x minus 4. He's got the plus. Do you see that's illegal? The math cops will put you in jail for that. Dude, no, I'm not just joking around, but the more that you think a logical thought, rather than just, Mr. Heron did this thing, I'm gonna try to do this thing, and it's kind of half a thing and half a not a thing. Think what's true. Think what's true. That'll guide you much better. It can't be true. It can't be true to multiply the top of one thing by x plus 4 and the top of something else by something different. That can't be legal. Can it? Right? I can't just take an equation and, hey, you're getting this and you're getting that and you're getting this other thing. Well, how could they still be equal? Right? Do you see that doesn't make logical sense? And I hope this doesn't come across sarcastic. But really, I'm really trying to encourage you. The more that you're logical rather than imitation. I mean, you got to imitate me a little bit, but mainly make sure you're getting the logic behind what I'm doing. And that'll carry you much better. So everybody see the logic. Well, I know you might be saying to yourself, I would say, wait a second, come on, what's the big deal? You're being all formal about this. Look, that's what it is in the end anyway. It's 3 and x plus 4. That's all you're saying, and it's yeah, but for a different reason. And it also, that reason causes the other side to wipe out completely. It's kind of like that, but you got to get the whole reason. Am I making any sense on that? So in other words, okay, so maybe too much theory. With an equal sign problem, you've got to do the same thing to the left that you do to the right. You've got to do the same thing to the left that you do to the right. You might be thinking back to the quiz one. If I go back to the quiz, yeah, here's the quiz one. Remember the quiz one we had? This is the one where I gave them what they're missing, but see, I do it top and bottom. Do you see the difference? When you give them what they're missing, you've got to do it top and bottom. And that's not, because that didn't have an equal sign. Does that make sense? This has an equal sign. So whatever I do, I got to treat them the same on the left and the right. I can't be giving them different things. Does that make sense? Am I being helpful on that? So, so maybe I should not say what's wrong as much as I should just say what's right and what's true. You got to put the whole common, the whole common, the whole common, the whole thing, left and right, because that's equal treatment, right? They're equal. You got to do to the left side what you do to the right side. Got to be the exact same thing. And then you cancel these out like that, cancel these out like that, and then so we end up with this down here, like that, for the equals problems, like that, and then distribute 3x plus 12. And distribute 4x minus 16 is minus x like that. So that's a really good question. I know a lot of people have that. I feel like I bungled up that explanation a little bit. Is that okay? Is that making a little bit of sense? So there's two different kinds. So there's the equals kind where you do the same thing. So it's got to be the same thing, huh? So it's the whole, it's the entire denominator. Maybe I should say that. It's the entire denominator, not just the missing part. Yeah, that's probably better said. It's the whole denominator. When you're doing left and right, it's got to be the whole thing, not just the missing part. Why? Because it's got to be the same whole thing, left and right, like that. All right, so I hope that helps. Keep asking. Please keep asking. The more you ask and we talk, you'll get it. It'll make more and more sense. A lot of things in math, like when the teacher first said it, didn't make sense for me, and I would just kind of copy it down and keep doing the problems, and then after a couple days, it'd be like, oh, it's got it, it dawned. Math it did for me. It took time sync. So keep working with it. All right, we get to here. We got to solve for x. How do we solve for x there? What do we do? Yeah, we got x on opposite sides. Just get rid of it. Doesn't matter which one. Just get rid of one of them. You could subtract 7x would be a real good idea. Subtract 7x like that. Boom. That's gone. Comes up here. That'd be minus 4, and this is minus 8x. This is minus 1, minus 7. Minus 8, like that. And then last step is divide by minus 8. And so that's positive a half, huh? Two negatives, make positive, and 4 over 8's half. And we got it. Is that okay? Those are good questions. Are there questions I can answer on that one? Good. Because that way I get dialed into what a lot of people are thinking. I know I've heard those exactly, it reminded me of those exact questions I've heard before, and I know a lot of people think that way. So is everybody getting the two different kinds? So we have the kind with the equal sign, where we do the whole common denominator, right? The whole thing, left and right. All the same, the whole thing. Whereas the kind that was on the quiz today, the very first problem we did, that was no equal sign, so we did top, bottom, just the missing part. Just the missing part on that. All right. Okay. X over x plus 3 minus 3 over x minus 3 is x squared plus 9 over x squared minus 9. There we go. One thing I want to help with on this one right away is, you know how we got that subtraction symbol in the middle? It can really mess you up. Move him up right away. Never subtract. I don't know how clearly I said that yesterday, but never subtract. Move or distribute. Distribute, subtraction to upper right and add. So yeah, so the first step, it should become x over x plus 3 and plus negative 3 over x minus 3 is x squared plus 9 over x squared minus 9. Is that hard to follow? Can you see all that okay with the, I'm writing over the words there. Is that good there? And we got to factor that denominator too, huh? So everybody see what I'm saying though about never subtract? Never subtract. It's really messes you up. So never subtract. Move it to the upper right hand corner. And now factor those denominators, that one denominator. In fact, I should have just done that right away. Probably. Yeah, let me go back. Just do it right here. X plus 3x minus 3. And now, so when you multiply through, do the whole thing, right? The whole common, the whole common, the whole common, not just the missing part. The whole common. So it's going to be x plus 3, x minus 3. Kind of running out of room here. X plus 3, x minus 3. X plus 3, x minus 3. Is that good? So you put the whole common denominator, top, not just the missing part, and then cancel out. X plus 3's cancel. X times x minus 3. X minus 3's cancel. 3 times x plus 3. Everything cancels. X squared plus 9. Is that good? Is that making sense? And then distribute. Squared minus 3x, boom, boom, boom. 3x plus 9. X squared plus 9. Is this going to be no solution? Or, I mean, it's going to be, this is,
Would that be a -3 and a +3?
Oh, yeah, it's a negative
Yeah.
three.
did I mess up?
That you did on the second one?
Oh, thanks. Yeah, you're totally right. I forgot this minus. Right here, this minus. I was trying to show you how easy it is to forget minus signs. Don't ever do that. I'm just kidding. It was a mistake I made, but yeah, the problem was coming out crazy in my mind. There we go. So now it's x squared minus 6x minus 9. Good. Does that get to there? Notice we have x squared on opposite sides there. What do we do when we have x squared on opposite sides? Yeah, just get them out of there, huh? They're just going to drop out. So minus x squared, I'm having a little trouble here. Minus x squared, gonzo, gonzo, huh? Totally gone. Come on up here. Where we go? Where are we? So minus 6x minus 9 is 0, not 0, it's 9, huh? Right, minus 6x minus 9 is plus 9. Good, we're almost there. We're getting close. This is a long problem. Add 9 to both sides. Minus 6x is 18. Divide by minus 6, x is minus 3. But after all that good and hard work, any answer that makes the denominator 0 in the original is a no way. That's the big no-no in math. Denominators can't be 0. So if you go back to this denominator right here and you put in -3, -3 plus 3 is 0 in that denominator. Now, this is no solution. This is another dumb problem. I didn't realize it. So make a note. Homework number 20 is another no solution. You don't need to do the problem. It'll be no solution. I'm not going to put that on the test. It's still good practice, though, all that other work. It's like the ones that end up having an answer. So is everybody okay with all those steps? Anything I can say to help with all those steps? Just continuing to practice the method? Even though the answer was kind of dumb. We good on that? Again, don't worry about, if that no solution thing is confusing for you, don't worry about it. It just means it makes the denominator 0. See how if you put it in right here, in the original, and make that denominator 0, -3 plus 3 is 0. So it's not a real answer. So I'm not going to put that on the test.